What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering In. Breaking news. By the way, I updated the title of my first video. Probably a little too baity, so I do apologize for that. Covering my Twitch banning by Blizzard was mostly in spirit, a bit of a meme, but also just to expose yet another situation where Blizzard was not living by their own rules and applying a double standard. Regardless of that, my apologies for being a bit too baity on that one. This one, however, I really wish I didn't have to release it at 4 o'clock on a freaking Friday. So please, if you're watching it, leave a like on it, leave a comment on it, and make sure you retweet my pinned tweet with this on there and share it out on Facebook, Minds, wherever. Just a really quick word from this video's sponsor, Ridge Wallet. I've been using my Ridge Wallet for almost a month now, and I'm really glad I made the switch. It took a little bit to get used to not carrying around a billfold full of receipts and everything like that, but now everywhere I go, everything I need is super clean, ready to go. Ridge Wallet is highly reviewed. It has over 30,000 five-star reviews. They have a huge amount to choose from in terms of design, and you can also save 10% off your Ridge Wallet by using promo code QUARTERING10. Follow the link in the description below, pick out your wallet, use my promo code, save some cash. They have a satisfaction guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can always send it back. But based on my experience, I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy you made the switch. This is huge. Congress just came out and wrote a letter condemning Blizzard. And the people on the letter are a hodgepodge of people I didn't expect to see. On the same letter, you have AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as well as Marco Rubio and many others. AOC and others penned a letter to Blizzard's CEO, Bobby Kotick, condemning the company's decision to ban a professional Hearthstone player for voicing support for Hong Kong. Now, I have not read this letter through yet. We have Ron Wyden, United States Senator, Marco Rubio, United States Senator, Mike Gallagher, member of Congress, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, member of what is this signature? Looks like it says Coop. Sell Oop? I'm not sure. That's a long name to have to sign. I imagine it's probably shorthand. And Tom Malinowski, member of Congress. Joint letter as of today, October 18th, 2019. Dear Mr. Kotick, we write you to express our deep concern about Activision Blizzard's decision to make player Y Chung, I'm going to pronounce that incorrectly, I'm sorry, dude, Blitzchung, forfeit prize money and ban him for participating in tournaments for a year after he voiced support for pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong. Minor correction, while I really support this letter and I love that more light's getting shown on this, since the letter was dated today, I wish they had provided updated information. They did give him his money back and they did reduce the ban. So in the first paragraph, it doesn't look that well researched. However, the decision is particularly concerning in light of the Chinese government's growing appetite for pressuring American businesses to help stifle free speech. Activision Blizzard benefits from China's growing market for esports, along with an investment from Tencent, one of China's largest technology firms. As you and your company are no doubt aware, the Chinese government uses the size and strength of its economy to suppress opinions with which it disagrees. Solid points so far. Who would have thought Marco Rubio would kind of be the guy, our guy, the internet's guy, the only guy that's standing strong against big tech? And by the way, this is an issue that people should be able to reach across the aisle on. And seeing Rubio and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the same letter is one of those kind of good moments where you see people reach across the aisle for a common good. They continue. Last week alone, The Chinese government targeted Apple for hosting an app to help peaceful demonstrators evade repercussion, and the National Basketball Association because one team's general manager tweeted in support of Hong Kong. So side eye to the NBA here too as well. Your company claims to stand by, quote, one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, yet many of your own employees believe that Activision Blizzard's decision to punish Mr. Chung runs counter to those values. Because your company is such a pillar of the gaming industry, your disappointing decision could have a chilling effect on gamers who seek to use the platform to promote human rights and basic freedoms. And I will say here, I will continue to support a clear and well-written policy that all players of games have to follow. Until such a point that that policy is in place, I will continue to pressure Blizzard to reverse these bannings because they themselves do not apply their own rules evenly, as we saw with the American university students that took up to 8 days before getting their ban, while Blitz Chung was banned in about 8 seconds. Again, and I will continue to say, I 100% support a rule. I support the right of a company to say, if you're going to be on our official stream, whether that's Hearthstone or League of Legends or World of Warcraft, on an official company stream, not your own stream. If you're on an official company stream, if they had a rule that said, look, you can't be yelling out Free Tibet or Mega or all this, anything, because while the Hong Kong situation is something that everybody outside of China probably agrees with, eventually, if you don't have a clear policy, and I'm talking about a clearly written one, not this, well, if you do anything to upset us or our Chinese overlords, we, in our sole discretion, have every right to ban you. That isn't a clear rule. And because Blizzard themselves has engaged in what many would call politics and constantly signal boosting certain things, certain holidays, certain national this day or national that day, that maybe not everyone agrees with, you have to have a clear policy that says, look, you either allow all of it or you allow none of it. And the only simple rule, the only simple thing for big companies like Blizzard or Riot Games or really Rockstar Games or any of these esports outfits, the only reasonable thing for them to do is to ban all of it. Or you could allow it all and let people use the platform. If you do that, though, you've got to say, hey, we're not a part of this. That's his right. He's got 30 seconds. I mean, I wouldn't be against having, a no holds barred. If you win the championship, you get to say whatever you want as long as it's not like illegal for 30 seconds. Imagine that. Video gamers getting an opportunity to speak to 100,000 people at once and promote something. I'm sure that wouldn't turn out to be a gigantic disaster. Anyway, the letter finishes. As China amplifies its campaign of intimidation. Indeed, many gamers would have taken notice of your company's actions, understandably calling for boycotts of Activision Blizzard gaming sites. As China amplifies its campaign of intimidation, you and your company must decide whether to look beyond the bottom line and promote American values like freedom of speech and thought, or give in to Beijing's demands in order to preserve market access. And that's really what this is here. When you make certain changes for a localization of a game, I'm totally fine with that. As long as you give the Western market the original version of the game, the fully creative licensed game with everything left in it. If you want to tweak some things because some local laws are dumb, but you still want to make that money, I don't have a problem with that in theory. But it's when you start to affect the Western market that I all of a sudden have a huge throbbing problem with it. You talk about what they did in removing, blood effects and skeletons and the witch doctor, and these are different games kind of melding together, but none of that is okay. As soon as you start making things more milquetoast so that it gets approved across the board and you start compromising your own creative license, I'm out. So it finishes. We urge you in the strongest terms To reconsider your decision with respect to Mr. Chung, you have the opportunity to reverse course. We urge you to take it. Now, this letter would have landed better if they had simply checked, I'm sure it was probably written days ago, but had they simply checked that, oh, they did give him his money back and they reduced his ban, because now it kind of falls flat. I don't know, but in no uncertain terms, having the United States Congress publicly disavowing you and admonishing you is absolutely not a good look for Blizzard. And it's just another thing that's going to stoke the flames of what is coming quickly to be BlizzCon, which is a potential powder keg. And I'm wondering if they're going to start removing things like the Q&A and others to avoid any problems. It'll be interesting to see. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.